Hello my friends, we're here at SeaWorld Orlando. I have some unfinished business with this park because I have not ridden all of the coasters that were here. Last time I came, I only got to ride on Manta because of the party that I was with. So we're here to make amends. I need to go ride Mako, and there's a few other ones here like Manta behind me. So I invite you to come along. Let's do this. I'm just getting off of Manta, which is now at a 75-minute wait. I knew that the ops were rough on those flying coasters, but man, that's crazy how quickly the wait time can balloon, because it does take a long time to get everybody into those flying seats. And they were only running 2 and not using both stations at the time. I think they're probably running both. I saw a couple empty ones going on, so or empty trains running, which probably indicates to me that they have made some adjustments in order to accommodate some of the capacity they're going to be needing. However, this ride is excellent. The first half, where they have the pretzel loop, everybody knows about that if you follow my channel. It's very similar to Superman Ultimate Flight. However, the interplay in the second half with the water, especially right by the waterfall, is just particularly amazing. It is a lot of fun. I highly recommend this one. Get on it very early or go for the quick queue, because unfortunately the dispatch times are pretty up there. They're in like the 4 to 5 minute range, and a couple of times I saw them at like 6 or 7 when I was waiting to get some b-roll. Tough, but very fun. Passing by the manatee area. This one's coming up for air, but he's probably gonna go back down real soon. Look at the size of him. He's a chubby dude. And here we are making it to Journey to Atlantis, which is a Mack water coaster slash dark ride. I think it's a little hybrid of the two. Got some funky sun glare going on here. Makes it look all heavenly. But they do have a splashdown little part at the end here that I want to wait and see. Well, I thought I was going to get a little bit wetter on this one, but it turns out it's a lot of it is just for show, except for the people who are pumping quarters into the little spraying machines that are back there towards the end of the drop. They were having fun. Not a bad ride. I mean, I think it's meant more for like kids and family, which is not a bad thing, rounding out the park with rides like that. But it was fun. I really like that drop that's right out here. But the dark ride elements were actually pretty cool. I didn't expect it to be as kind of fleshed out as it was. So, big surprise for it. Anyway, so right next door is actually Kraken Unleashed, and I've heard that this one might ride a little rough, but we're gonna go find out for ourselves. I think over there is the Antarctica area with the penguin enclosure, but right straight ahead here is Kraken Unleashed. And also, just like Manta, they have a bunch of lockers, kind of like in Six Flags tradition. They want you to rent a locker here. They're using those GoPod style ones, although Manta did have some places to put like hats, glasses, and phones, like little cubbies, just not backpacks. Just getting done with Kraken here. It is a fun little floorless B&M. I did have a couple of head knocking moments, but otherwise it's a good layout. There's a couple decent pops of air. I really like the underground elements that they had there. I think there were like 3 or 4 of them. That was super cool that they did that. But I do also like that it's really close to Mako here, which is going to be our next stop. But unfortunately, as soon as I got off this, it did go down again. It's having some sort of intermittent downtime here. It looks like we'll first have to traverse through Antarctica to make our way to the next roller coaster. This is kind of cool in here. And believe it or not, it's warm. One other thing I did want to make note of about Kraken is the ops were doing terrific. They had 3 trains there, and not once were they stacking unless they experienced some downtime there. I'd say they're doing a great job. I also don't know if I'm going the right way. I made it over here by the water, which is on the way to Mako. and I can see right across the water there. That's Icebreaker. Can you guys tell me in the comments, please, what is going on with this and why hasn't it opened? I came down here hoping that it would be open by now, but it seems like all of the Seas parks and their new coasters, other than I think Texas Stingray, they haven't opened, and there's been no allusion to when or why. Like, I saw that the team members here even got some sort of preview of it. So, just got into the shark area here. Shark encounter to my left. Finn's Gifts to my right. But wow, there's not many people back here, is there? But here's some of the track from Mako, which supposedly is the best ride in this park. We're about to go find out. Just getting done with Mako, and wow, that one was a lot of fun. I think that's my favorite in the park. So much so I went and did it 3 times because it had good uptime and the dispatch times were really good. It is a lot like Nitro actually, with the restraints just being that little lap wedge type of thing, and then just airtime. The first drop was amazing. The second drop, or the big airtime hill, was really crazy. It was one of those where you feel like you're getting pulled out of the seat. But then after that little turnaround, there was a weird, like, I never noticed this before on a coaster, a trim just before a hill. I don't know why that one was on there. I wonder if it's to prevent the track from getting destroyed or something like that, or just because it's too intense of a hill to be taken at the speed that you get after that giant turnaround. But then there's trims, then the rest of it is just kind of little hills. The ending could be a lot, like, it could have been a lot more boring if they did not use the terrain the way they do, and you kind of make a loop around the entrance to the coaster and into that shark encounter area. It's really, really well done. I can't say enough positive things about it. I wish there was better views of it, but it does go out like near the parking lot area, so I can't really get too many good shots of it, which is a bummer. Wow, passing here by Infinity Falls. I've heard that you get absolutely soaked on this ride, so I'm probably not going to do that just yet. Look at this. This looks amazing though. I've heard that it's advisable to bring an entirely different change of clothes, to be honest. And then there's that drop back there. This is actually a pretty cool little view from here. All right, we've made it here to Sesame Street Land, which is new to me, although I think it's been here for a few years now. It's going to share a lot of similarities with Sesame Place, which is kind of my home Seas park out in Pennsylvania. So we're not going to fully explore it. We're going to go straight for the coaster here. It reminds me a lot of Sesame Place, to be honest. It's just got like actual street stuff on it, like the crosswalks and like the turn lanes and stuff. There's a photo op for Big Bird to my right here, and then there's probably the little thing where you can bug Oscar over here somewhere. So it's the same, just kind of rearranged a little. Yeah, there it is with Oscar. She's getting a photo there. They have some food trucks here, the splash area, whereas in Sesame Place they have that full little water park, mini water park. Hoopers is exactly what it is over at Sesame Place. It's kind of like a mini grab and go type of thing. But I want to head back over there to Super Grover's Boxcar Derby. Alright guys, so that was interesting. It's Zerers, the manufacturer, unlike Vekoma over at Sesame Place, which does Vapor Trail. That one was like slightly too short to be a single circuit ride. Like, you know how most kiddie coasters, they go through maybe twice, maybe even more if the layout is small. I thought that one was gonna go around twice, but it had some pretty fun elements. Some like baby laterals, basically. And I thought it was kind of fun. But that is it for SeaWorld Orlando and all of its coasters, because unfortunately, Icebreaker is not open yet, and I can actually see it right here. Let's just go take a peek while we talk about the coasters we just rode. Walk down here to just check it out a little bit more close up. I feel bad for this coaster. It's gonna open up and it's not gonna get that much love or fanfare, I think. Like, there was a small window, and I think, unfortunately, Velocicoaster, if either Iron Gwazi or Icebreaker open, it's already being kind of overshadowed for now. But anyway, while we're here, we might as well talk about maybe, I guess, my personal rankings for the coasters that are in the park. Until this opens, we won't have a good idea of where it sits, and I think that'll bring it up to 5 coasters, or are we at 5? And this will be the 6th, I think. But the top one, I'll go from the top down. Mako is definitely number 1. After that, it's a close call between Kraken and Manta to me, but I think Manta just edges it out. Manta has that aquarium in the queue, which is really cool. It has a bunch of different rolls, the interactions with the water, and then the pretzel loop, which everybody loves, even though it can be a little intense. Going back to Mako, I did not mention that there was this hilarious safety videos in the queue that they were playing. It was absolutely ridiculous about what not to do when you're sitting in one of these. I don't know, maybe I just picked up some new bad habits when I go back to Six Flags Great Adventure and ride Nitro. The theming for that queue was equally amazing, even for the ride, like the station and all of that, the ride, the train itself, and the queue, the theming was top notch. Then at number 3, I think I would put Kraken Unleashed, which I think the Unleashed is a like previous name that it had when they were doing a VR element to that ride, and they just kind of kept it. That was a couple of years ago, but that's my understanding, is that they changed it to Kraken Unleashed when they were adding a VR part to that ride, and then just kept the name once they got removed the VR, because I know the VR really increases dispatch times when everybody in the train needs to have a set of VR goggles. But anyway, that would be my number 3. Then number 4, Journey to Atlantis, which, being a sort of hybrid, it didn't do the dark ride the best or the water coaster part the best, but combined it is a lot of fun and definitely worth at least doing once or twice. Then last is Grover's the kiddie coaster here. What is it? Grover's Super Derby, Boxcar Derby, or something like that. Super Grover's Boxcar Derby? I think I got it. I don't know. The kids' rides always have the craziest names. And then hopefully we'll find out about Icebreaker not too long. But in general, for all of these places, you did not have to really use the lockers, if the lockers that are outside the queues for the rides. If all you had was like hats, glasses, and a cell phone or something, there are little bins at each station that you can use instead. Because I had my backpack and my camera, I didn't want to take any chances, so I put all my stuff in the locker, which means, unfortunately, I didn't have much B-roll. I kind of got the swing of things later on in my day, which is why you'll see a little bit more at the station as the day progresses. But I just want to let you guys know that if you ever come down here and aren't sure whether or not you need to rent a locker or anything, because they don't really provide that type of information here about there being at least some sort of cubbies or bins up at the station. So they just have very tiny ones where you can put your hats, glasses, masks if you're still wearing them, and a phone or something like that. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Having ridden all the coasters here at SeaWorld Orlando, had an absolute blast. Mako is definitely a top tier coaster, and I'm glad that I rode it. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I hope you go make your own adventure. Bye.